Are you ready as a person? When we're looking for friends or love, we usually look for other people to make our lives complete. But there's something important we often forget. Good relationships start with knowing ourselves. Today, we're going to talk about how being aware of who we are and growing personally is important before starting romantic relationships. We'll use ideas from Stoicism and other smart ways of thinking to show how knowing ourselves helps us have better and happier relationships. Stoicism, which is all about finding inner peace and being a good person, gives us great advice for this topic. It says that to really get along with others, we need to be at peace with ourselves first. So, let's start this journey of looking inside ourselves by learning more about who we are and growing as people. This is the first step to making strong bonds with others. Let's find out how being a person with real depth and good qualities is not only a great idea in theory, but also a useful way to make our relationships better. Stoicism's main point: get to know yourself. At the center of Stoicism, there's a big rule: know who you are. Stoic thinkers such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius believed that true understanding begins with a deep look into your own traits, beliefs, and skills. Being aware of yourself like this is really important for leading a life of goodness and also for having meaningful relationships. Let's stop for a moment and think about this important concept. Consider your life. How much do you actually understand yourself? Are you clear about your core values, your strong points, and where you could get better? Thinking deeply about ourselves is key, since our relationships often reveal our true selves. I encourage you, as a viewer, to begin exploring who you really are. Stoicism shows us that knowing our true selves, seeing our good qualities, and admitting our weaknesses is the first step to making real and satisfying relationships. When you know yourself well, you create a strong base for getting others, making your relationships deeper, creating who you are without needing others' approval. To live a satisfying life, it's very important to develop a strong, self-reliant personality. This means not just looking for other people's approval, including from people you might date. It's about making a version of yourself based on your own values, beliefs, and goals. Old philosophers talked a lot about being strong in character. Stoics like Epictetus said that our real value is inside us, not from praise or attention from others. Believing in our own worth is key. It helps us stay steady even when things around us change or when we're turned down. So, how does someone start to build their inner self? It all starts with self-reflection. Pay close attention to what you think and feel. Wonder, what are the important values in my life? What really makes me happy and feel complete? Remember, this kind of self-reflection is an ongoing thing, changing as you learn and experience more. When you really get into learning about yourself, you'll find parts of you that you might not have known before. It's about seeing both your strong points and your weak spots. Making your own identity also means accepting and improving these weak spots, not ignoring them. This is how you really grow as a person. Thinking about it, making your identity is like carving a statue. Every experience and challenge molds you. You are both the artist and the material being shaped. Keep in mind, you're not trying to make a version of yourself that others like, but an honest picture of who you really are. When you do this, you start to base your self-worth on something stronger than just what others think. When you have a strong sense of self in relationships, you interact with others not because you are needy or seeking approval, but as a person who is already complete. This makes relationships healthier and more balanced. You contribute a person who is sure of themselves and genuine, qualities that people find naturally appealing. So, think about this now. Are you making your identity to get approval from others, or are you learning about yourself, creating a personality that shows who you really are? Enjoy this process, because it's by knowing and growing ourselves that we really get ready to have deep connections with other people. Marcus Aurelius, The Importance of Controlling Yourself. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic philosopher and leader of Rome, give us great tips, especially about personal relationships. Aurelius thought that being in control of yourself and being disciplined were very important for a life that has purpose. In relationships, self-control is about being able to deal with our sudden desires and emotions. Aurelius taught that our own responses, rather than what other people do, shape our inner peace. This Stoic rule is very important in modern dating and relationships. It suggests we take a moment to think before we react, so that our actions fit with our principles and future happiness. Think about this. How many times have you done something on impulse in your relationships and later wished you hadn't? Aurelius tells us to be more controlled, to think first before we say or do anything, especially when we're really emotional. This isn't about hiding your feelings, but about knowing them and using them in helpful ways. Take a little time to think about how you handle relationships. Are you acting on quick feelings, or are you making choices based on careful thinking? Learning self-control from Marcus Aurelius doesn't mean you have to deny yourself things. It's really about choosing what will make you truly happy and bring balance in the long run. Epictetus, The Importance of Being Independent. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, really believed in being independent, both in your feelings and money, as a key to a good life. His ideas are especially meaningful when thinking about love relationships. He said that real freedom and happiness start inside us, not from outside things like relationships or money. He emphasized being able to rely on yourself and manage your own emotions. This way of thinking is really important when you start relationships. Relying too much on someone else for your happiness or money can cause problems and make you unhappy. Think about your life from Epictetus's point of view. How much do you depend on others to feel good? Do you often look for approval or joy from outside things, especially from romantic partners? Also, look at how independent you are with money. Is being in a relationship just a choice for you, not something you need for money? Epictetus tells us to develop what we have inside us. This way, when we start a relationship, it's not because we need to, but because we want to share our happy life with someone. This kind of independence makes relationships better and also helps us feel freer and happier. Think about how you can be more independent. Remember, getting better at taking care of yourself is powerful and freeing, and it fits well with what Epictetus taught about freedom and looking after yourself. Seneca, How Wisdom Helps in Relationships. Seneca, a major figure in Stoicism, really thought wisdom was important, especially in personal relationships. His ideas give us a lasting way to handle the tricky parts of love and being together with someone. He believed wisdom was more than just knowing things or being smart. It was about using what you've learned in different parts of life, like in romance. He thought that wisdom helps people see what's really important in a partner, not just looks or short-term feelings. It's about knowing yourself well and then knowing what you really want in someone else. Think about how wisdom affects your relationships. Are your choices in finding a partner based on quick feelings or real understanding? Do you look for things in someone that match your beliefs and help both of you grow? Seneca said, "Wisdom means understanding that life and relationships don't last forever. So we should be thankful and really be there in them, instead of trying to own them or being scared of losing them. It's about seeing love as a chance to grow and understand together, not just a way to feel complete. Think about how you can be wiser in your relationships. How could a wise view change how you handle relationships now or in the future? Seneca's lessons tell us to look for relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and growing together. Going through these philosophical ideas, it's obvious now that to have meaningful relationships, you need to know and improve yourself first. What Stoicism teaches us, along with what people like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca said, shows us something important. To have a good and happy relationship with someone else, we need to have a good relationship with ourselves first. Before diving into dating and friendship, it's really important to work on who you are, what you stand for, and feeling satisfied with yourself. This isn't just to get ready to be a great partner. It's about being a whole person by yourself. When you start relationships knowing yourself well and being mature, you tend to find and keep relationships that are rewarding and equal. Keep in mind, the path to finding love involves looking inward as much as it does connecting with others. It's about creating a life you're happy with, even when you're on your own. By doing this, you become more attractive to possible partners and also make sure your future relationships are based on mutual respect, understanding, and growing together. Understanding the role of emotional maturity in relationships. Embracing the principles of Stoicism and ancient wisdom, we must also consider the role of emotional maturity in our relationships. Emotional maturity is the ability to manage our feelings and reactions in a healthy and constructive way. This skill is essential for creating and maintaining lasting, fulfilling relationships. When we are emotionally mature, we can communicate better, resolve conflicts more effectively, and show empathy and understanding towards our partners. This maturity allows us to handle the ups and downs of relationships without losing our sense of self or our values. One key aspect of emotional maturity is self-awareness. This means understanding our own emotions, triggers, and patterns in relationships. Are you quick to anger, or do you tend to withdraw in difficult situations? Understanding these tendencies can help you navigate relationship challenges more effectively. Another aspect is emotional regulation. This involves managing our emotions in a way that is appropriate to the situation. It's about not letting our emotions control our actions, but rather responding in a way that aligns with our deeper values and goals. Consider this. In your past relationships, how have your emotions influenced your actions? Were there times when you reacted impulsively, only to regret it later? Developing emotional maturity means learning from these experiences and striving to handle similar situations more thoughtfully. Empathy is also a crucial component of emotional maturity. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. In a relationship, empathy allows us to connect with our partners on a deeper level, to understand their perspectives and needs. This understanding is key to building a strong, loving bond. Finally, emotional maturity involves being responsible for our own happiness. This ties back to the Stoic belief of finding contentment within ourselves. In a healthy relationship, both partners should contribute to each other's happiness, but not be solely responsible for it. This means finding joy and fulfillment in our own lives, outside of the relationship, which in turn enriches the relationship itself. In conclusion, as we delve into the world of dating and friendship, let's not forget the importance of emotional maturity. It's about understanding ourselves, regulating our emotions, empathizing with others, and being responsible for our own happiness. These skills, combined with the wisdom of Stoicism, prepare us for healthier, happier, and more fulfilling relationships. Remember, the journey to finding and nurturing love involves not just connecting with others, but also growing and maturing within ourselves. To sum up, the wise way to love and life is not about finding someone to make you complete, but about being complete on your own. As you keep learning and understanding more about yourself, remember these teachings. They're not just rules for finding love, but for living a life with meaning, wisdom, and happiness. Enjoy your own path, value your uniqueness, and when it's the right time, share your well-developed self with someone who shares your beliefs and feelings. Remember, the best love stories are between two people who are already complete, not two people looking to be completed.